Welcome to Make Something with me, David Picciuto, and today I'm going to show you the quickest and easiest way I know on how to make drawers. This is for shop furniture or for furniture in your home. Check it. Today's video is brought to you by SimpliSafe. So today we are going to build a drawer for this piece of shop furniture. The techniques that I'm using is for all plywood drawers. So if you're building furniture for your shop or for inside your house, the techniques will be the same. The very first thing I need to do is I need to build out the insides so it's flush with the face frame. And as you can see, my sides are a little bit over an inch deep. When I am building shop furniture, I find that the easiest way to do that is with a 2x4 and a table saw. If I was building furniture for inside the house, I would use something a little bit more elegant, like a really nice piece of pine or poplar. So before we cut that thickness out of this 2x4, I'm going to cut it to length at the miter saw. And the length that I'm going to use is the length of my drawer slides. You don't need these fancy tools to do this job. You can do most of this with a circular saw and a straight edge. The reason I am using the fancy expensive tools is because they all have nice dust collection. It keeps things nice and neat and tidy, keeps the dust out of my lungs, and repeatability is easier. For these simple drawers, you could get away with doing this with a circular saw. Now, cutting this to thickness would be a little bit difficult, and you might have to get tricky. You might have to glue up some pieces of plywood to get the thickness that you want, but everything else could be done with a circular saw. So now over here at the table saw, I need to cut my board to the thickness that we need. But as you can see, my board is taller than what my blade will go. You could run this through 2 passes. I've not always been a big fan of that technique. I really only need about 2 inches of this board to attach the drawer slide. So I'm gonna run both of these boards through here first. I've gone ahead and marked my line for what I want to cut off. You'll find in woodworking, there are multiple ways to do nearly everything. I'm gonna do this at the table saw. You could also do this at the joiner or the planer or the bandsaw. Typically, what I have done in the past is I've gone ahead and glued these onto the side. To make my life a little bit easier, I'm going to attach the drawer slide to this first and then glue this on there. The drawer slide needs to be sticking out a little bit so it is flush with the face frame. So I'm going to set this back here, and then I'm going to find where that is flush, and I know that the drawer slide is going to stick out that much. Now I'm just going to attach this to the spacer. And then, as you can see, it sticks out front. To attach these to the inside of the cabinet, I'm going to glue and screw them on there. And I have a screw that's a little bit longer than the spacer. And I'm going to pre-drill and then get this screw started so I can just hold this up and then screw it inside the cabinet. The reason I'm pre-drilling is because this 2x4 will split pretty quick and easy. Make sure that that is going to clear the slide, which it does. And I'm just going to back it out a little bit. If your drawer is 5 inches tall, this can go anywhere within that 5 inches, so it doesn't really matter. I have a mark here at 3 inches and then a mark here at 3 inches, and I'm just going to line them up. And as long as both of the slides are at the same height, we will be good. I am going to put a bead of glue on here, and I'm only going to screw in this first screw. Then I can take my square obviously I gotta loosen that screw just a little bit, and then I can square that up and then get the other 2 screws. We have those installed now. It is time to make the drawer, which is what we are here for. So this opening is 40¼ inches. To make the front face and the back face, we need to subtract 1 inch because this drawer slide and this drawer slide is each a 1/2 inch. thick. So we need to make a front face that is 39 1/4 and a back face that is 39 1/4. I like making my drawers out of 1/2 inch Baltic birch plywood. It's not as heavy as 3/4 inch, but is still super strong and makes for a hefty drawer. My drawer height is going to be 3 inches, so I'm going to cut a couple 3-inch strips first and then cut the front and back to length. Now I'm cutting the front and back to length here at the miter saw, and I'm going to cut them both at the same time so they will be the exact same length. So now I need to cut the two end pieces. I want the depth of my drawer to be 21 inches. And so that means these pieces have to be 20 inches because we have the 1/2 inch front and the 1/2 inch back. So now we need to cut a piece for the bottom of this drawer. Sometimes when I'm making furniture for pieces for inside the house, I will use 1/8 inch plywood and cut a groove on here that the plywood would fit into. For bigger drawers such as this, and I don't want that flex in the drawer bottom, I will use 1/2 inch plywood like we're going to do today. So what I want to do is I want to cut that bottom the exact size of our drawer. So I'll just kind of roughly assemble this, make my marks, and start cutting. So now we're just going to glue everything to this bottom piece. And all you need is glue and clamps. I'm going to use glue and brad nails or pin nails to hold it together. Those brad nails are not going to add any extra strength. It's just going to hold it together while the glue dries for me. And since I know that this bottom piece is square, because I cut it square on the table saw, that all I need to do is make sure everything lines up along the edge. If you are wondering, Pachuto, you're just gluing the bottom on there and there's no extra reinforcements or dowels or anything, that bottom's gonna fall off. It is not. I'll show you. This drawer over here, this holds a bunch of heavy tools. This has been like this for about 3 years now, and that bottom is just glued on. No extra reinforcements, and it has not come undone. I'm telling you, wood glue is crazy strong. It's stronger than what you might think. So this drawer is going to be perfectly fine just gluing it all together like this. So if you're not using a brad nailer, throw some clamps on there, wipe off the excess glue, and let that dry. If you are using a brad nailer, you can move on to the next step. So now it's time to install the drawer slide onto the drawer. It needs to be at the same height on both sides. So I cut a piece of scrap, gonna set that on there, set this on top of that as a little jig, and screw that in place. Cool. The moment of truth. Let's see if this works. I mean, of course it's gonna work. Of course. There it goes. It's got a catch. It's got a, yeah, look at that. There's a really cool trick to install the drawer face that's perfect every time. It's a trick that I learned from Stumpy Nubs. And before I show you that, I'd like to tell you about today's sponsor, and that is SimpliSafe. SimpliSafe is an easy to use, customizable home security system that is free from contracts and hidden costs. Having just upgraded its system, SimpliSafe devices are now half the size, they reach nearly double the range, and have 5 times faster speeds. SimpliSafe is an incredibly effective, reliable home security that will make your home safe. If you've been feeling worried about safety, but putting off dealing with it, you don't have to wait another minute. SimpliSafe makes it really easy to secure your home. You order online or over the phone, it's delivered to your home, and you install it yourself in less than an hour. From there, your home is professionally monitored 24/7, and if anything does happen, SimpliSafe will make sure that the police gets called. They've got sensors to cover all of your windows and doors, and they've got extras like water sensors, temperature sensors, and HD cameras. It's all really easy to use. It's like 50 cents a day, and there are no contracts. Last month, I talked about installing this at my father's home, and since then, our contract is up with our previous security company, thank goodness. So we are actually going to be installing this here at my home. So when we see each other again in a few weeks, I can tell you about that experience. The motion detection and the window and door sensors are small and sleek, so you won't even notice them. And then if something happens, again, SimpliSafe will call the police. So visit simplisafe.com/makesomething or click the link down below in the video description to learn more. Thank you, SimpliSafe, for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get this drawer face installed. You could take this and then take a clamp on there, clamp that down, and then screw it in from behind. It's really hard to get everything lined up to where you want it, and you're eyeballing it. So instead, we're going to install the handle first, and that's going to make things a lot easier. Check this out. So we're going to drill the 2 holes where my handle is going to go. I've already gone ahead and marked where those holes need to be. Instead of attaching the handle now, let me show you this cool trick. I've got a couple of drywall screws that I'm going to temporarily put in here. And I'm just going to find the perfect placement. So if I was trying to line this up with cabinet doors down below, I would put a spacer in there, find that perfect alignment, and then screw this into place. So now I can open up this, put some screws in here, remove these, and attach my handle. So I'm just going to throw a clamp on there to keep those 2 pieces together. I'm going to get in Dan's way, and then just drive a screw in here. Drill into your knee. And then one more in the middle. Now, I can remove these. So I have to re-drill this so it comes through the other side here. Now, I can take those screws, pop them through, and attach my handle. That is the quickest and easiest way that I know how to make drawers. And like I mentioned before, when I'm making furniture for the house, I use the exact same methods when I'm making it out of plywood. When I'm using solid wood, I use some different techniques and some different joinery methods. It's a little bit more complicated. If you want me to make a video on that, I will, but I've got a couple of older videos where I show how to do that in the middle of the project. So, thank you for SimpliSafe for sponsoring today's video. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in a couple days with another video. As always, be safe, have fun, stay passionate, and make something. All day. All day. All day. Half the day. Part of the day I could do this all day. Part of the day I could do this all day.